Welcome to Marketecture, where you get smart fast with in-depth interviews of leading technology vendors. I'm Mike Shields, and I'm here with Jay Prasad. He's the Chief Strategy Officer for LiveRamp TV. Hey, Jay, thanks for being here.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited to get to know your company better, and specifically this part of the company. A lot of folks probably know LiveRamp, but let's get into the basics because you're in a very special part of the business. Tell us what LiveRamp TV is as opposed to LiveRamp and what that's made up of, and we'll get into some more details.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, LiveRamp is a pretty household name in the ad tech and martech space with its roots in onboarding and identity, and really helped lay the groundwork for how data moves around the ecosystem. And coming out of when LiveRamp and Acxiom were one company, Acxiom had some traditional linear TV solutions in the market. And those solutions remained with LiveRamp after Acxiom was then sold. And then from there, starting in about 2018, there was a lot of additional product development and investment in that TV solution around data activation and a lot of that early lead in linear TV. And then coming up in July, it'll be 3 years since LiveRamp acquired Data Plus Math. And so the combination of some legacy solutions plus a lot of new product development and innovation over the last couple of years and some M&A have now been all put together into what this sort of solution set is for the TV ecosystem. And so I think it's important that it's portrayed in that way because it's buyers, it's sellers, it's the ad tech that lies in between, data providers, measurement companies. They're all a part of how we look at our TV and measurement solutions because we're basically supplying and enabling all parts of that ecosystem.
So let's get into product. Can we just talk on a highest level? LiveRamp TV, it's been described as a platform, has a lot of pieces to it. You know, if you look at the legacy LiveRamp, which you described as moving data around from place to place, roots in digital marketing, what does LiveRamp TV do? What is it? Why does it exist?
Yeah, so just this last fall, we actually went through this exercise of really trying to calibrate all of our solutions and put it into something that's a little bit easier for the market to digest. So what we determined is that LiveRamp TV is really centered around 3 pillars: collaborate, activate, and quantify. And those 3 pillars are really held together with interoperable identity. And then underneath each of those pillars are several different products and solutions and Lego pieces, if you will, that you can put together yourself or use things that are more holistically built. I think all those pillars are all sort of heading in a direction where our technology needs to be accessible in many different ways, including that through cloud environments. So there's a lot of componentizing and cloud-based approaches that we're taking for different parts of our stack. But ultimately, our TV stack is really around those 3 pillars of collaborate, activate, and quantify. And identity is sort of a given, but it's even more important today than it was 3 years ago, given where privacy regulation is, given cookie deprecation. And so, within our identity solution, you have things like our ATS solution, right, which is this migration to authenticated relationships, moving away from third-party cookies. Underneath our identity stack includes our both online and offline graph, including a CTV graph that we have built over the last couple of years, specifically for the TV industry to leverage, which is a ecosystem built graph. Those who participate also receive graph data back. And, that has scaled to well over 200 million CTV and streaming devices in the US right now.
Okay, so are your typical customers brands? Are they agencies, TV networks, CTV companies, all the above? Who do you work with?
Yeah, so from our structure, we look at the TV business as a set of products and solutions that are categorized as TV, and then a set of businesses that are also categorized as TV businesses. So that means we do actually sell predominantly to brands and TV programmers and MVPDs. But we've increasingly also been adding other technology companies, so other vendors, if you will, into that mix because we're enabling them to be able to work with the buy and the sell side. And we have our Data Plus Math business works with agencies very often because they're often working hand in hand with the brand. And then on our TV activation side, right, which is something that we've been investing a bunch in terms of some new products and features. We announced a couple of new partnerships and features a couple of weeks ago where I saw Zach down in Puerto Rico, and that does have an agency component to it. So the long answer is it's a lot of different parts of the ecosystem. The short answer is it's a lot of buyers and sellers, but we also service those in between that need to also be able to connect to those buyers and sellers.
Okay. And do you typically work in the US or globally?
Yeah, our TV business is operating in different markets around the world. They don't all operate the same, predominantly because of regulations that are different in place to place, right? We, in the United States, have more ability to work with IP address as a signal, for example. It's not something we use exclusively because that is against our privacy policy, but we are able to use it, where in Europe you can't. So we've been doing more things directly connecting both sides that have data. So this is where collaboration comes in place. So, working with a large TV and ISP operator in France or the UK and connecting them to the largest retailers in France and the UK, and being able to allow them to create addressability and measurement by both of them just bringing their first party data to the table. So the difference is like we can aggregate and create data as infrastructure in the US, and you can't do that in every part of the world. And it is definitely our goal to roll out components of our TV solution to more countries in the next year.
Thanks for listening. To hear the complete interview, subscribe at marketecture.tv.